What is up, everybody? This is Somebody Talk 123 here. Ryan Madson, who was considered to be the loser of the offseason, the one man out for many people, as this closers market was so vast, it became worse and worse as time went by. You saw guys like Jonathan Papelbon get really lucky finding a team for a 4-year, $50 million deal, and actually Ryan Madson aimed for a 4-year, $44 million deal, had it in the works with the Phillies. He accepted, but the Phillies did not choose to go through on it. So disappointing for Ryan Madson. They are not returning to the Phillies. They signed the prize closer of the offseason in Jonathan Papelbon, and Ryan Madson is now teamless. Now, Angels seemed like a very possible suitor for a while, but the amount of money they spent this offseason was absolutely incredible. Also, they have Jordan Walden, so the need is not necessarily there for a more experienced closer like Ryan Madson. And honestly, he might have just as good a season as Jordan Walden next year, so the need is not there for the Angels. But obviously, the Angels trying to improve on their bullpen. They signed LaTroy Hawkins and a few other minor league type signings, so their bullpen should be fine. What teams actually do need a guy like Ryan Madson in the bullpen? You can argue for certain teams. Obviously, a team like the Blue Jays would want to have a guy like him, but they got Sergio Santos and they got Darren Oliver. They went cheaper routes to get those guys because they went in the free agent market wanting a closer so bad, and then they realized, wow, these closers are costing way out of our price range, and then the market just totally crashed for closers when all these closers already signed. When you see a guy like Joe Nathan, a 37-year-old, get right around $7.5 million for a 2-year deal, and you see a guy like Ryan Madson only get $1 million more guaranteed, there's definitely something wrong with the market, and it showed definitely. So if the Phillies would have waited and known that they could have maybe got him on a 1-year, $8.5 million deal, I think they would definitely go through on that. But, I think them having Jonathan Papelbon, they're definitely happy with him too. They did have to give up a draft pick, and the Reds will not have to give up a draft pick for this. But the Phillies will obtain 2 picks. If you remember the new bargaining system, it's like a sandwich pick and a supplementary round pick. So the Reds will not have to give any picks for this, and they fill the void in their bullpen. You look at their bullpen, the main right-handers in their bullpen, guys like Nick Massett, and then they also have lefties. They have an array of lefties with Sean Marshall, who they acquired, gave some young pitching depth for him, and Aroldis Chapman, who hopefully, if he works on his control, whether he goes in the starting rotation soon or not, it doesn't matter. He needs to work on his control and get in control and be that dominant pitcher that they signed a few years ago. So, he definitely has a ton of potential, obviously, there, and right now he's in relief. But the thing that really impresses me with this bullpen is the fact that they now have Ryan Madson, and they also have Sean Marshall, Aroldis Chapman, Nick Massett, and other, depth guys in their bullpen. So they have guys that can get through the 6th and 7th inning, and then they have Sean Marshall, a dominant left-handed reliever, and he's not someone who only gets through one batter. He's someone who can go an inning or two. So he is your 8th inning guy. No matter what, to me, he is your 8th inning guy. Ryan Madson is obviously your closer, and in the 6th and the 7th innings, you have Aroldis Chapman who can go a few innings, and you have all the array of relievers, right-handed relievers, that can go and get the outs that you need to get in the 6th and 7th inning. So this bullpen is set. Obviously, with Ryan Madson, it will complement any bullpen. I wanted the Cardinals to go in on him, and I think they would have gone even really aggressive on him if the price even went down. But really, to get him for $8.5 million guaranteed, it includes incentives. So, yes, obviously he can earn up to $10 million or maybe even more, but it is $8.5 million guaranteed. Remember, the Cardinals signed Rafael Furcal for an average of $7 million a year for 2 years. To me, I would pay $1.5 million more and sign Ryan Madson rather than signing Furcal. Depends on your team needs, of course, but I think a lot of teams, knowing how low his price would actually go, would have definitely waited to sign Ryan Madson, but then the market would be completely different. There would be more teams on him. So, it worked out for everyone here except for Ryan Madson. He wanted a multi-year deal, but now he's going to be free agent again. Now, the big thing is how he performs this year. If he performs really well in 2012, there is an option for 2013. It's a mutual option, and that gives the Reds some time to defer some money and wait to pay him a little later, so I can help the team. But really, Ryan Madson, all he has to do is he wants to win. And he's going into Cincinnati with the team that added Matt Latos, with the team that added Sean Marshall, that shown that they want to win. They're going all in this year. So he's got to be happy about going to the Reds with already a lot of young players like Jay Bruce and other guys definitely developing, having Joey Votto, former MVP, and then having Brandon Phillips. I think this is obviously a great move for the Reds. I mean, you can't go wrong here. They solidified their bullpen. They're definitely the top two in the NL Central, maybe even the favorites going into spring. I mean, you're looking at their offense is pretty fantastic, and it did not do as well as they hoped, but they really did improve pitching on all stances. You know what I mean? Their rotation was somewhat of a problem for them last year. They had a lot of young pitchers, but they couldn't get it done. And they add Matt Lato, someone who's proved that he can get it done, and then Sean Marshall and Ron Madson, obviously, in the bullpen. So this is a team to watch out for. This is a team to beat in the Central. The Cardinals need to make a move or two to combat this, but they also already have a really good team. Great move, though. So now Ryan Madson does not need to worry about being a free agent or not pitching next year, not finding a team. And the Reds now have a solidified bullpen. Definitely a team to watch out in the NL Central, along with the Cardinals, who have improved a lot also. But definitely the loss of Albert Pujols doesn't make them look as good. And Francisco Cordero is now the top free agent closer out there. Again, this is Zombie Talk 123. I will be at the Cardinals winter warm-up this weekend, getting some video for you. Thanks for watching again.